hard to put a finger on it right now. I would say that YoCap's individual improvement from when he first joined us to now is quite apparent. I have to assume that that comes from Mistim probably helping him out, and surely exists. Yeah. And so in the first couple games I saw from NIP, for example, they couldn't even make it out of the opening stage of Espo. YoCap was just making weird moves. Like, he's just pushing smokes randomly. He's just dying in kind of silly ways if you really look back at it. And they had to hold his hand and probably be like, yo, just play with the team a little bit more. You don't need to be a hero all the time. And I feel like he's slotting into the system a bit better, even though he still sometimes has minor lapses in judgment.
So 9Panda's map does too. What are they gonna do here to tie the series up?
Lock it down on CT. That's what they did versus G2, right? But I think, yes, they're one map down, but these are the two maps where they have a big advantage going into it, right? So I think it's more now the conversation for them outside is, hey, we had a big lead and maybe we got a little bit too relaxed in some moments, right? The focus dropped down. We need to maintain that high level of focus until we win this series, and I think if they do that, they'll be able to take down NIP.
I still have 9Pandas as the favorites for this map. It's simply scary though when Wrinkle's firing at this level, because he is going to get active. He is going to get in their faces. He's going to switch up his positions. As soon as he gets one kill, he's going to move to a new spot. And if 9Pandas aren't able to tame him, then this series could end.
Go, friends, gather! Kiki, Chris, Jason!
Friends, let's go, friends!
Hold on to your dice.
Nice roasting, Brad. Thank you.
How we doing, Kiki?
Tastes like money to me.
I can't go back to jail!
Wait, did you rob my bank?
Are we winning? Money, power, friendship. Let's go!
Something magical happens when you unbox BritBox. It begins with an invitation to experience something new and leads to a remarkable discovery.
I just want this fucking game to start. I might just go to fucking... Nah.
And reveal what perhaps you were looking for all along.
What we waiting for?
Yeah, what are we waiting for, honestly? Because why the fuck are we on Twitch? Fuck Twitch, to be honest.
I just want this one.
Building your online business?
This is a real shit.
Go to Wix.com and...
Alright, we got 5 minutes. Let's go. Let's play... Do we have 5 minutes? What time is it? Alright, that's over there. Alright. Alright, we got 5 minutes on that, 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. I did want to see if I had any things left in Trade It. I'm pretty sure I don't, but nothing in D. Alright, cool. Alright, dude, I'm not doing this right now. Whoops. Okay.
Calling my Isaac Clarke because he split 9 Pandas in half, winning that 1v2 that brought NIP back into the game, Vince. After that, it was Wrinkle going ballistic, playing his style of CS. They get it over the finish line for one, but the hardest tests are yet to come.
Exactly, because now we move into 2 maps that pretty heavily favor 9 Pandas, at least if you look at the stats, which isn't necessarily the be-all and end-all, especially in pressure cooker situations like this at the RMRs, but 17% win rate on Dust 2, and then with Mirage up third, if we need it, of course, the same can be said again on 9 Pandas, very much in the ascendancy if you look at stats only. Problem is, they need to find Result because he disappeared in that very first map, and he is one of those players alongside Dilladez that you need to show up as much as possible. Disbalance did. He had one of his best maps of the entire tournament, and yet it still wasn't good enough on that second half.
And obviously you touched on those stats, right? For Dust 2, 9 Pandas been looking absolutely dominant online. That's a 72% win rate over the course of 18 games played on this very map. But can you show up and do that again here? It's a different story. You can see them trying to fire themselves up a little bit. Last-minute screams amongst the team, but we're ready to get into it. 2 opportunities to close this down for NIP. Survive their first test in today's run to the Shanghai Major. What have they got in store for us here on D2? CT side start.
I just want to see if Wrinkle's going to pop off again on the CT side, man. That was a masterclass on Ancient. They showed it, they talked about it on the desk. 8 multi-kill rounds, and most of them were on the CT side of just wrapping around corners and rinsing players left and right. Speaking of the man, he will be forced off his angle on Catwalk from that Molotov. It allows 9 Pandas now to try and pick up the pace and the slack and get in their face, but there's 2 players around this corner. Flash is good, very good in fact, as Disbalance and Dilladez both chip in for frags, and 1 player left on the site is missed them, but not for much longer. Oh, it's a clinical T-round on the pistol, and it doesn't seem like Isaac's going to be able to do too much out of this one. 1 kill, but mainly a consolation prize. Dink down, going to get finished off from the side by Result, and 9 Pandas just so aggressive, not slowing down for anybody.
And that wasn't your usual Pandas on the round. That was the red Pandas as they paint the town red, running up on short, might be blind, but still fragging and taking a lovely pistol there. So they get started into Dust 2 with a nice clean opener, only the 1 casualty. We saw Dilladez going wild before the game, Vince. He's getting even louder now they've converted the pistol round. So good energy for the Pandas. Mid-call, though. They want to go running straight up, fight this one, get it a bit scrappy, see if you can make it uncomfortable. But the shooting gallery is easy pickings.
Yeah, indeed. They just wanted to get that one over and done with an IP. They had nothing in the round, trying to catch 9 Pandas in a bit of an awkward spot, perhaps. Maybe if they were rushing long, wrap around the back of them. Doesn't really matter. The round is done in the blink of an eye, and it means that NIP can get their A1Ss in play. Obviously, the downside of this is that Wrinkle won't be on his AWP. It's always interesting to me as well to see how many AWPers on Dust 2 especially opt for the early scouts. It's very viable. You see Woxic do this a lot, for example, on Dust 2. Although you could argue Eternal Fire out 1 and 3, so maybe that's not the way to go after all.
Yeah, rough run at the RMRs for them. We saw Wakadia and Woxic both having struggle games. Major was trying his best as he could to drag them back into the action, but too tall of a task. No scouts here, though. All A1Ss with very limited utility for the NIP side. It's only Yocap that's got the smoke and the flash on close mid. And Rez walking up. He's going to go for the flash out short here. 1-for-1 off the back of Wrinkle's flash from the site. But 2 quick trades. Low HP on Glowing, sure, but you've still got the manpower advantage here.
I missed them. Once that smoke clears, could be in the thick of the action. The flash is good, but he's anticipated that. Turned around. Not affects him in any way, shape, or form. And now with that peek out, Glowing on the close angle, the MAC-10. Oh, this could be a backstab. He gets 1, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. There is a second player, though, down in lower tunnels. But Shalfie not quick enough to snatch back the life of Wrinkle, so he will live. Isaac perched up on the site again, all alone. It was, as you said, his clutch that really got NIP back into things, but no chance of that being a possibility in this one. Immediate headshots dispersed across the entirety of NIP, and they never really got into this round. And like we say, this is a real comfort pick for 9 Pandas. They love playing this map. They've played it a ton. They have a very good success rate on it. It's seen this T side very calm, very collected. not rushing into anything.
That's why with how dominant early into Ancient it was, we're thinking there's a timeline here where 9-pounders could set themselves up for a 2-0. That fell through the fingertips after NIP found a way to command respect back into the game. It isn't getting any easier though. For Nip, you're playing from the back foot here on Dust 2, potentially into Mirage as well, as the stats paint a bit of a damning picture for them. Haven't really got much to work on this one. Couple smokes, few deagles, P250. See if they can take control of the extremities. They push into upper. That's Glowing that was holding Fripp. He's posturing off, wants to join up with the rest of the squad that have taken the initial long control. Going for the hit out on the site. Isaac with the deagle.
How did he not get hit?
I mean, that's the first pick. Ibis Balance is able to cover it on the cross back, but you found at least one kill.
Getting 8 ads every 20 minutes is actually diabolical.
What the actual fuck?
The ad blocker that actually works on Twitch.
It's going to be point blank range onto Result, but it won't be the shutdown. Instead, Result comes back in for another one. He's already up to 6-0. To put it in perspective on Ancient, he got 8 kills overall. Was rock bottom of the scoreboard in terms of ADR at 42. And for a star rifler to go missing at a key moment like that, it's important he makes amends here on Dust 2, and so far that's exactly what he's done. 4-0 start looking so much better, but as we saw in Ancient, Exist calls the early timeout. They have a buy coming up. I would imagine Wrinkle probably is going to get his hands on an AWP. This is where things can start to turn around in their favor.
For context, this best of 3, it's all about survival for both of these two teams. There is one case for both NIP and 9-pounders for that automatic qualification to the major through the 6th place, avoiding the 7th place decider. That's if you win your game, and then Astralis and Spirit both win their respective matchups. So a lot hinging on it. It's not only your result, it's the other teams as well. Oh, mate. I mean, he's trying to get the fast pick off. Let's just run straight down.
Shift out the way, man.
Can you move right, please? Like, I'm trying to pick. He still gets the kill. He gets the opener on the Yocab.
Just assert dominance next time, shoot in the back of the head and say, listen, I was trying to shoot one of them. You know, you've got to learn your lesson one way or the other. That being said, this was a double up setup, by the way, in this round for NIP, and they've already lost one of them. Yocab was using the second. He's yet to get off the mark alongside Mistem, who is 0-9 on Ancient to kick things off. And
the fuck is he looking at, bro?
This setup entirely. It is a full-on investment of huge proportions for the economy.
Like, obviously.
After a tactical timeout. And he's just been slapped right across the face. Ooh. Is going to keep the dream alive, keep one of the AWPs in play probably. But the round's pretty much already done. Like, NIP just can't get a foot in.
Yeah, this one's in the bin already. It's just about focusing on both of the weapons. So you're not going to be able to fight back early into this CT half. It's going to be 5 rounds on the board for 9-pounders. And Resort yet to go down as well. 6-0. Mirroring the scoreline there of Ibis Balance. Heads up call from Rez, at least with a HE. You blow the AWP back to you. Thought you would still lose his fight on the close angle towards short as well. But quick reactions. You can give that back to Wrinkle in the next. So it could have been even worse, but obviously the hot commodity of the rounds is not going to be yours. So slow start for the Ninjas once again. Shades of Ancient in the early game.
Swearing to the bomb blast. No problems for 9-pounders. It does mean that NIP will retrieve and continue the AWP and M4 into this. Gives Wrinkle another opportunity to have some impact. He's already on. Oh, I think actually those stats are from the last map, right? Yeah, I was going to say, he's got 6 opening picks in 5 rounds, Jackie.
He's just that good.
Yeah. What a beast. With 0 rounds as well. Feels bad for Wrinkle right now. But I think that the main difference is, yeah, 9-pounders flubbed a huge lead on Ancient, but this is such a convincing, comfortable map for them. It's hard to see how they do the same here the second time around. Peek out, Wrinkle lucky to survive. The flashbang pretty much keeps him in this round. Diladez couldn't fully get that spray under control. He couldn't see anything. But with the damage inflicted, Wrinkle has to play way more passively. He'd love to go for those wide swings that we saw time after time on Ancient, but you just can't afford that luxury on 16 HP. One stray bullet through the smoke and you're dead.
You can play for the cross from CT on low health with the AWP here. Through another smoke in, then they HE it open. But they're up on the bomb side. Isaac from Gandalf, who wanted to be a bit of a bad magician and split him in half. It's not going to happen here. Rez is able to connect onto one.
Oi, sto.
You're thinking like this balance would be ready for the taps. Maybe there's more story to this round yet. 3 versus 3, 2 of them incredibly low. Bomb's just gone down. Paranoid about the setup towards T-Spawn. Where's he lurking? Where's he situated? He's inside a long house with 23 health, just going to be holding for the doors. And losing these weapons could be far worse. There's no another pick. It's not going to put you in a 3v2 where you might want to have a look in for the bomb sites. They're going to save. Hold on to these weapons. Wrinkle will keep the AWP, but no rounds.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they must have a good read that at least one of the 9 pandas are low. They may not have confirmed damage on both. But more importantly, it's the fact that Wrinkle's on 16 and you have 1 kit between the 3 of them. It sucks to save at this point because you're eyeing up a 6-0 deficit, but the alternative of pushing in and losing all of these guns is far worse. I mean, you can see the economy on Isaac and Mistem, not great. Rez just below $4,000. Losing these weapons would have been catastrophic. So hold on to them. Second timeout. This very much feels like deja vu from Ancient. 2 early timeouts with Exist getting involved. Big deficit that you're trying to chase back down again. But of course, the difference on that one is that they started on the T side and they were really struggling to bypass the Idis balance AWP and Diladez just basically popping off down middle with Shalfie. It's a different ball game here because they could be looking at a high deficit going into the T side, and we know Wrinkle is way more comfortable on that CT side where he can kind of dictate the pace more, take the picks where he feels comfortable. Did you see that clip from Hunter where he
with the 2-player peak? Yeah.
That was great.
Sometimes you need a bit of a blessing on your side. I disbalance. He takes the fast hit, had the spawn for the long engagement. Hot toes, though. And Wrinkle, he wants to instigate around on this one. He's looking for the headshot, but nothing to be gained. Result ready. The AK. Strike straight back.
Timing
there for Isaac on the run out, but this is just easy for them. Each and every duel, timing for Rez as well, and CT Spawn switches to the HE for the response back. They drop on top of you. And they're just being body bagged 1 by 1. You can see the stress of the body language on Exist there. Blowing hits the last shot. 7 rounds clean on their T side, Dust 2. Just running through them.
Yeah, I give credit where it's due as well. Like, Resalt may have been missing in the first map, but he is here and he is delivering. Round after round with entries, with double kill. Stellar performance. You could say the same though on multiple players over on 9 pandas. I mean, it has just been dominant. We were discussing coming into this best of 3 series. Glowing and Idis Balance have had pretty rough tournaments, you know? But, well, there you have it. He's not missing right now with the AWP. Another buy for NIP, and they trail by 1 player. This time, Yocab 0-7 with 19 ADR. But, I mean, it's not really faring any better on most of the rest of NIP. It's really only Rez that's kicked things off in a positive way.
And that's Wrinkle. Annoyed he doesn't get the trade as well with the setup you're going for. Obviously, you run out in towards mid. He was looking for the peak backup, but you kill the 1 player with the A1S, and no room for impact. And his timing on that initial play is well and truly gone. 9 pandas setting themselves up for the hit towards the B-bomb site. It's missed them. Only 1 kill to his name so far here on Dust 2. Posturing at the back of the site on the peak up. They line up for him. Easy spray down. 4 kills picked up as they do fade away. And Shalfie wondering how on earth they've been obliterated on this one.
We had a moment on Ancient with Isaac picking off a clutch that just seemed to inspire and resurrect NIP. Is this the moment on Dust 2? Mistem lines up all 4. And that's always the problem when you push into a site without flashes or smokes and you're in a claustrophobic, close-knit kind of choke point. Hold down left click and there's going to be multiple frags coming your way and you can't really re-engage. You're going to be shooting the back of your teammates' heads. Well-placed timing. 9 pandas maybe just overthinking things. whichever way you spin it, though, Jackie, NIP have got to make the most of this opportunity. If it's a one and done, 9 Pandas are off to an outrageous T-side start on Dust 2.
It's got to be the splash of water to their faces, wake them up, get them into the groove of things here. Fighting for survival in Shanghai. If 9 Pandas take this, there's more to be done. Another map to go. Mirage at the end. 1-for-1 trades initially into the round. Xiaofi taking a bit of space towards mid, gets the mid to B smoke up, flashes through it as well. You're going to crack it open, get visual that no one's initially committed off the back of that. They still got a ton of time. Nades as well for them there. Triple molly, flashbang, and the smoke on Diladez. They're going for the quick hit. Out through short. Run onto the bomb site. Wrinkle, top of the car. Flashed off, but still good for the connection. Playing with Rez. That duo comes alive again.
Wrinkle is so fucking good.
With a second pick, funnels Result back into middle. He does have the bomb. He's been spotted though, tagged down at 28, missed them. Making sure that he's on point to deliver. So NIP got 2 rounds. Very similar story to how Ancient kicked things off as well. 9 Pandas should still have some funds though, a vast amount of rounds. You can see they can honestly buy in the next one as well, whatever happens at this point. NIP doing their absolute best to recover what looked like a lost cause.
And again, the man that makes moves for NIP is Wrinkle. He's getting those opening duels now. He's getting into the groove of the game. Peek out, eye disbalance on the shot back. As the flashbang fades, so does the life of Mistem and Yocab on the angle towards the car. Smokes, Molotovs, everything bombarding into the bomb site. But he could still be the blockade to buy a bit of time. His position not yet compromised. Xiaofi tucks in behind the box. You've got the contingent on mid as well. The insurance policy of Result. Rez walks out. Nothing to be gained there. His teammate behind the car had already expired, so Wrinkle forced back into a save.
That's going to be a very disappointing outcome, considering once again he got the opening pick onto Diladez on middle. Great shot from Itis Balance, though. There was a flash tossed in. I don't think it really affected him, even though it came up on the scoreboard. On the kill feed. Good flick onto Mistem, and yeah, as you highlighted, like, Yocab was still the ace up the sleeve, but the utility was solid with smokes and flashes, and didn't really have a chance to fully get involved in that round. So NIP, it's 2 rounds that they're able to muster together and post up before being brought back down and being put to the sword. The save door will allow them a couple of opportunities on this one with Isaac, Rez, and Yocab looking healthy. Can drop across to miss them. But I mean, best case scenario right now is 4 rounds on NIP, and the way in which 9 Pandas are playing right now, I can't really see it happening.
No.
Yeah, it feels like this one's already kind of played out. Like they're just ebbing, flowing through the game, knowing how to counter it time and time again. Unless it's a hero round, unless it's a showstopper from NIP, they're just not really getting anything to find impact on these. Oh. Wrinkle will not be getting his opening duel this time as Disbalance tips it back in favor of 9 Pandas, but Yocab realizes he needs to do something single-handedly. Quick trades there for the T's, Glowing with a readjustment. We said he had gone missing. Where's Glowing? Well, here he is in the 11th.
I think they fully got baited into feeling safe there in lower tunnels because there was no call from Itis Balance that a mid player had been pushed into. He gets the pick, didn't spot anyone pushing lower tunnels. Because you can see the first play that Yocab picks off is jumping around the corner with a nade or a knife or something. Isaac, in the meanwhile, though, has he just...
What is the timing on that?
Resort hasn't even seen him. He's still looking at middle. He has no idea.
That's so mad that they've been able to get past one another. Just watching it on the overview. Oh, mate. I mean, he actually might be able to get out on this and just back off, hold onto the gun.
I think he will, yeah. Because Resort clearly has no idea. He's still looking at CT spawn. You can see from his sort of angles that he was checking out that if he'd seen him on catwalk, like pushing into mid, they're definitely going to send players over there earlier on. Well, I mean, these are all just drops in the bucket, though, as far as NIP are concerned. It's all well and good saving this M4, but you're still 9-2 behind. You aren't going to have a great deal to play with in this round either. But yeah, Yokab, even without that hero play, or with the hero play, I should say, it's still so comfortable and convincing for 9Pandas. It's like they're not breaking a sweat right now, Jackie. This is kind of what we expected coming into Dust 2.
Yeah.
That's why the pressure was on so firmly for Ancient, and we were fearing the worst for NIP when that horrible start kicked into play.
Isaac woke them up there, brought them back into it, but he's been quiet on this one. And Wrinkle had about 5.8k, so he's able to get himself the AWP. Kevlar as well, and a single nade to work with. That's the smoke that's thrown out. Rez, a little bit more aggressive this time. Takes command of short, fights in for the opening pick. There is a trade, but damage back onto Diladez. 2 players in position towards midside. Forced off by the Molotov. It's Yokab with backup. Wrinkle isn't here. He's all the way out on long. Might still find a way to make his mark here in the 12th. Looking for a bit of a push up on short. You've got to edge yourself around the smoke. A Molotov rather, with the smoke coming in on top. It's Isaac. Diladez can just tuck in, wait for his teammates on this, go for the full execute out, and you're so heavily committed to the split push out through long side. The Wrinkle, his late rotation, might come back to haunt them. They're paranoid about the mid to be on this one. They double up again.
I don't really understand Isaac rotating off from the boxes there. Like, you've completely given up catwalk. Like, even if they're worried about the mids to be hit, like, you've already got to play there. You've got to have faith in Yokab to hold that by himself. You've now basically just given put a red carpet out and said, 9Pandas, please plant on the A site. And they're going to have great post-plant positions as well, assuming that something crazy doesn't happen. With a jump spot, the MP9 tries it, may, won't collect any kills, and now 3 players isolated down. They have the high ground, and Diladez is making the most of it with those 2. Wrinkle at least flicks in for the finish-off kill onto Glowing, but he's about to go across onto long side, baits out the shot. 2 players staring him down, and they will put him out of his misery. But you go back to that Isaac rotation, and it's such a question mark to me. They haven't even smoked or flashed it at that point.
And Wrinkle's always one of those players that can find impact in those kind of rounds, but he's so heavily committed on believing there's a late lurk out through the doors. He instead went further in, looking for the clear on Longhouse, finally comes back, hits one, but then the verticality comes into effect. Too many angles. It was always the possibility of the quick trade, even if he took down another player. And that's for the last round at the end of the half. So massive deficit here. 10 rounds on the board. Great T-side from 9Pandas, controlling this game. You know, coming into Dust 2, we were looking at the stats. It paints that picture that this should be 9Pandas, incredibly confident, incredibly dominant. We're seeing players that were quiet start to get loud as well in terms of their impact on the server. NIP haven't got that plot armor this time.
I think that really factors into why maybe both of us coming into this game expected 9Pandas to actually take the win, is because in terms of map pools, 9Pandas have a much deeper pool than NIP do. To put it in perspective, Dust 2 is their second best map. Their best being Inferno, which is NIP's permaban. They played it 18 times. Tons and tons of success on it with 72% win rate. So, you know, it's always going to be a comfort pick. And the same could be said, really, of Mirage, which is up third, which is looking increasingly likely to get to as Idis Balance pops off with 3. No real retaliation other than Result hitting the deck, but Mistem now with bomb in hand has to try and recover. In more ways than one for his team to stand a chance. Julie's in play, playing with his food is Diladez, and finally decides to puncture Mistem and get 9Pandas across to an 11-2 lead.
And Diladez going absolutely ballistic as well on the player cams. Lots of energy from him. He was hyped up even before the game started, and everything's just been keeping that energy high for the team, whereas it's a lot more somber for NIP. Obviously, first 2 timeouts called in incredibly early on. Since then, they've all just been watching on. Exist hasn't had his opportunity to speak to the rest of the squad. They call in their third here now, so last chance saloon for them and for him. What a gross position you left in, right? Losing that pistol round. If it was hard before, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's like that lifeline, that life raft has just popped. And you're just watching it slowly sink.
Well said!
Yeah, exactly. That movie gets me every time, man. It's almost like they're not even fully going off now with the cheering because they've already accepted they've won the map almost. It's like they've come to this super confident realization that NIP, they can't touch them on Dust 2. Tech9s, Deagles, everything's been invested into this round, desperately trying to clamber their way into a shred of a possibility. Try and take some weapons away from 9Pandas who are playing this one much more passively, giving up catwalk, giving up mid. Player up close and long as Result with the MP9. They have come off B sites. Oh, okay, missed them with the opening pick with that flash. It's a second as well. Hold the phone, maybe there is a chance yet.
Oh, Turmoil with the Tech-9. Evil Brain, Angel Heart as he pops off. Missed them showing up on that one. But I disbalance up on short, looking for the spray. They're all lining up. But the Tech still deal damage. You should be able to feast with this MP9, but it's not working. It's all Techs. And Glowing's the last one left, so NIP. A small sliver of a chance given to them. As the Tech-9s parade massively. And a bit of energy comes back to the camp, but this is only just getting begun on Dust 2 for them. It'd have to be a huge comeback, round after round. And is this really sustainable, right? Yeah, sure, you get out through mid-side with the Tech-9s. What can they do with the actual weapons?
Come on, boys. Let's go. Now we're getting some fucking...
Bruh, maybe just stick with the Tech-9's voice. That was incredible from Mistem. The fact he gets the second kill while fully flashed as well is... Oof. As you say, though, it's not the kind of dependable, consistent rounds that you can bank off saying, right, we can pull out another 8 of those and tie this up. Now, that's the exception to the rule. That's a bit of a fluke. Great shots, don't get me wrong, but there were a couple of moments there where 9Pandas, like I disbalanced with his M4, could have probably killed 3 on that spray. Then Result with an MP9 gets insta-dinked around the corner. Those are freakish kills that you really cannot expect to get too many more of. Aggression up on middle, though, for 9Pandas. They've got those 5-7s, missed them. Oh, he's tucked away into the corner. He's heard I disbalance. He has no idea. Takes him out. That was maybe a win condition in this round on the side of 9Pandas, but it has been thwarted. It has been denied. So a 4th round to NIP. Playing for a bit of pride and confidence here on Dust 2.
Resort just trapped here with a 5-7. They peak together, so there's no way you can commit to just one fight. They're able to double up. And Xiaofi back in spawn, waiting for this one to expire. Again, it is only a 5-7, and Kevlar, he'll drag into the next round. Better than nothing, but unable to post up any rounds here.
Yeah, a bit of a momentary reprieve on NIP. These are the rounds you should be locking in and dialing in so easily. Sure, Shalfi can maybe be a bit of a problem with that 5-7. The rest of the team, though, USPs. It's good to see that Rez has been having some impact, though. He didn't necessarily need to do a lot of the heavy lifting on Ancient, but there were moments where you saw his aim just slightly off, especially considering how good of a player he is individually, typically, for NIP. Of course, been at the roster, or the org, I should say, forever.
Yeah. For years and years and years, mate. 9Pandas on this one. They set up with all of their men on short, looking for the run out, reposition round, peeking in one by one. Range advantage is good for NIP, and missed them. Point man up on short finds that one, so no shenanigans from 9Pandas. But they've been biding their time for this. Reinvestment comes out. I disbalance with the AWP on his CT side. They got nades, they got rifles on the rest of the squad as well.
Yeah, Rez has been at NIP for about 7 years, since 2017. quite remarkable. Not many players have that sort of standing with an org, that kind of loyalty over a long period of time. And think of how many rosters he's been a part of. But hold that for a second, because Result double nading with Shalfie, already taking down Yocab. He tried to get outside along and just got barraged down. They're going to try and make the most of this momentary weakness on Catwalk, or at least they think it's weak. But Glowing there with the Incendiary throws it down and just stalls them.
Hoping they've caught a timing for the run out, but he's just jump spotting, like you say. Dashes in the Incendiary to slow it down. And the re-smoke out. So round 17. Becoming a bit of a stalemate here for NIP. They got the one smoke in the back pocket for Mistum. Remolly in case he's pushed up onto the close angle. Set up with that over the top, block off towards the mid-speed run out. They could attempt to go for it. It's the waterfall onto the box, expands the whole way across, block off the CT angle. High disbalance. Scoped in, waiting for the walkout, but the timing on it, he just postures off as they start peeking. Misses the shot as well. That's your window now. NIP can run in towards the bomb site. Glowing on the spam through the smoke, connects onto Rez. Wrinkles holding. He's the flanker, ready for the backstab if they come barreling out. Jumping around the corner, Glowing gives himself up. Back could be spammed onto by Resort on the angle works. Low HP, but look at the positions. Missed them, already wrapping through lower side, and they're going to come straight back into him. He just tucks in. They don't know. He can swing out. Gets one, Shalfie with the orc shoulder peeking it, but almost fully extended. You're giving all the damage to Mistum. 3 clean kills. And around going the way of NIP with the orc being saved for Isaac. Can get dropped back over to Wrinkle. They just have to keep winning time and time again. But right now, even with 9 Pandas finding good openers, closing them down hasn't been as clean on their CT side. Switch up here on the buy, of course, not having enough money to work with, so you get the smokes out, tons of HEs, they could go for a stack.
Yeah, long play coming in, and NIP are about to walk into it. Damage on the grenades is hefty. Missed them on 14 frags and having a real huge amount of impact on this T-half. Takes the bulk of it, but Rez and Wrinkle laying the CTs bare with those AKs and the AWP, and suddenly just 2 remain. Diladez, a bit slow on the draw against Mistem in that last round, and it's going to be the same again in this. And although Glowing puts the Deagle to work, and plenty bodies have hit the deck, NIP have managed to get themselves a 7th round, and 9 Pandas now forced into their first tactical timeout. The first time they've maybe started to feel a little bit of a pinch of pressure and realize, well, hold on a second, there's actually a map being played now. They look like so confident, even though running rounds, you didn't see Diladez popping off. They were just kind of relaxed and calm. Or maybe some nerves starting to creep in now.
NIP, they are 1 map up in this series. They won the debut on Ancient. And will it be that same storyline again? A slow start into a huge comeback where they're able to close it. It's harder this time around, sure. But you won't give a damn if you can still find the answers each and every round. This is an important buy now for the Pandas. High disbalance back with the AWP. Diladez on the cross. Tagged up. Connections there. Great reactions from Wrinkle. No pick, but a hefty tag that could save them late round, depending on how this one plays out in the 19th.
Flash is good. Connects onto Idis Balance twice, but Result there in the buddy system. And although he gets 1, it won't be a second added. Missed them on the periphery. Deals with Shalfie up on middle. And that gives them passage up on Catwalk, but it's not safe to traverse across to the A site, because Idis Balance playing in amongst those smokes is still in the fight, still activating in, and another kill on Rez. Although Wrinkle returns the favor and does have control over the bomb, almost faking as if he's trying to cross over on the B site, but Glowing is down on CT. He can see that's not the case. However, Idis Balance has moved off his perch. He's no longer watching Catwalk. Wrinkle can get onto the site. There is a way forward for here to get the bomb plant down. in enough time to reposition and welcome and receive the oncoming CTs. This round is now the winnable spot, and it just got a whole lot better. Glowing thought it was a B-side plant. His back was turned, he just gave it up for free, and now it's a battle of the Orpers.
The timing on it as well, from the walk back around from my disbalance. Wrinkle's able to get himself into a good position. The Shinobi sniper does it again. Wrinkle saves the round for NIP. Showing up in Shanghai and erupting with excitement. A huge clutch from him. It's about survival. They've got to grind out these rounds again and again on their T side. And delivering there with I disbalance, looking like the job was done. But they forgot about Wrinkle.
I'm not talking about that. Nice fucking good boy.
Almost couldn't believe it himself. He's like, oh yeah, I did just clutch. That smoke was sick, by the way. That totally changed the dynamic of that 1v2. I was thinking that Glowing would have the angle to see that there wasn't a cross, but you could see by the fact
Hey! Okay. 셔츠. 이거 뭐라? 체크무늬 셔츠 잃어버렸는데 혹시 못 보셨어요?
Perdí mi camisa a cuadros frente a la fuente de allá.
Ah, allí está.
Trying to keep their heads in it.
Hey, Calisor exists. Wave him off. Like, it's fine. No worries. That bodes well for us getting back into this. And yeah, we just want to get straight back on the server, right? Like, this is in a very precarious but tantalizing position for both teams. Like 11-8, you still think, well, 9 Pandas is still firm favorites. Like this should still be their map. No problems. They're comfortable on it. They've got an incredible win rate on this. Yeah, but the momentum is entirely shifted at this stage.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot more weakness, whereas as much as obviously they can be incredibly proactive on their T side, and they were being able to play off one another to get opening picks, to keeping you guessing with the movement, CT side's been a lot more stagnant, kind of just basically playing possum, waiting for the pushes to come towards them. And it feels like there's been a few whiffs compared to what we were seeing previously as well, right? Like the shots with the setup you had on short side probably should have been there round. It all went wrong there. So rounds you want to forget about and just course correct, getting back into the groove of the game. Obviously, pressure's on them. If they lose this, the series is over. That will be a 2-0 for NIP.
That would be a different kind of heartbreak, this RMR round. Of course, last time unable to make it to Copenhagen because of visa issues.
Yeah.
Gamer Legion took their spot. And now, in this 2-2 matchup, with 2 golden opportunities on both maps. It's not done just yet, Jackie. Yes, it's looking a little bit bleak, a little bit grim, especially as it's going to be another eco round coming in for 9 Pandas. But they're still in the lead. They will have a scout as well. Idis Balance picking one up with an MP9 alongside it on Shalfie. Obviously, round loss bonus is brimming to the fullest. Oh, that looked on to me. Don't know, I've got Boomer Eyes though. I could be wrong, but I thought that honestly hit him.
Well, this might. Watch Idis Balance here. The flick of the wrist from the Panda as Idis Balance takes the head of Rez. And they take map control, push the extremities. Start to suffocate and squeeze them off. As they bleed their way into upper on the rotate back though, Yokap catches a glimpse, range advantage on the AK, the Arabesque firing off the warning shots. But Idis Balance does it again. He's still taking these fights. 2 with a scout, slows them right down. 3 Ts remaining. 2 up on the bomb site, but the CT's in great positions to make this one uncomfortable. And they're getting tags off. Jump spot up, take down the bomb planter, it's all on Isaac. He had a hero round back on Ancient, but this one's even harder. Smoke shot's good for the first. Paranoid about the close angle. Taps the bomb to force the fight, but the spray is labored and Resalt delivers. That's how they make it to 12.
NIP, 6 rounds in a row of consistent buys, crazy clutches, and huge individual moments, and you get put to the sword by 5-7s and a scout? I mean, take nothing away from either balance. Those are 2 sick shots. Oh, it's such a gut punch. NIP have expended so much time, effort, energy to get themselves in this. And now it's 4 map points. Dilladez caught on the cross one more time. Tanked down significantly, but the same can be said for Rez. Up on long, grenade lands right by his feet. And he needs to tread lightly now as he backs away. Waits for the rest of the reinforcements to arrive so they can take that long. No one's home. 3 players in close proximity, looking to try and boost over, get themselves into the fight. Need to be careful though, Wrinkle is watching this angle.
Drops the AWP back to Rez, low on health, 14 HP to his name. Takes the rifle on this. He is a bit of a hybrid, so he'll be comfortable in this situation as well. And it's glowing on the bomb site. Support on short, flash over the top so he can peek in, take the combat on ramp, the run down from Isaac. And they're expanding quickly, taking space. Chip damage is great though for both teams. Everyone's softened up, so the M4s could still find frags from this. Single flashbang in the back pocket for Dilladez, but I disbalance. His head's on the chopping block, and it's Yocap to be the executioner. The backstab seals that one. Gives them a fighting chance here in the 9th. They're all going to barrel back. They're looking to posture off from it. They know he's here as a mid-contingent. And they just want to save these guns. Economy in a real rough position. NIP could claw their way back into 9.
Yeah, they are. That's been dialed in already. Question now remains whether 9 Pandas can save any of these guns. Money could justify an NIP hunting for this, even though they're on low hit points across a bunch of them. Also, don't want to give any further AKs across, so they're going to be happy to tap this one out and allow the 3 9 Pandas players to save. 3 more opportunities now, though. 3 more chances.
Holy shit.
The notorious Wrinkle still has the AWP. He's been good with the mid-openers, getting tags, getting hits off. Hefty investment on long side, reading the book and expecting a fast round with the tempo from the T side of NIP, but they're not coming this time. Instead it's a split push, mid to be out, focus on Dilladez in the round. He's got to hold back the wave, quick reposition from Glowing. He was good last time. Visualize the frag, got the shot off to put him into a better position. This time goes headstrong. Dilladez all on you to defend, but the turret is uprooted by Rez is AK.
9 Pandas do not throw this.
And that should be another save. Shalfie, though, is going to be in a fight sooner rather than later. He's being flanked from the side. Here's the footsteps.
Whoa.
Oh, put down. Yocab deals with him. Do they want 2 AWPs? For the time being, he's going to pick that one up just to make sure the CTs can't get their hands on it, but be curious to see if they run with 2 AWPs into the next round. Dust 2, of course, is a map where that could very well be a possibility, but decides against it, tosses it back down, picks up the AK instead. So NIP will hit 10. Didn't look likely at 11-2 down. Resalt's waiting for that push. Waiting to receive the tease through on long, but he goes down. A lot of damage, but no kill alongside it. Iris Balance will save. Now, there is more than enough money to get a buy in. Second timeout called. Makes a lot of sense. Want to make sure that you go through everything. Fierce has called that one. They will have a buy. We've seen consistent long control attained by 9 Pandas from Resalt's been getting out there with early grenades. A lot of it's been based off spawns as well, though, so it'll be curious to see what they come up with here.
Double AWP setup. Could be a tenacious defense for 9 Pandas here in the 23rd. That would still close the game and push us to the 3rd map, the decider of Mirage, a bookend that's been waiting in the wings, but a story we might never get to tell. If NIP can close this in 2. Totem pole peak for the mid face. Wrinkle loves going for these. Bypass him this time. 3 players out on long, deep HEs. Isaac, a sliver of chip damage as that one tickles the toes and drops him to 86. But it affords Resalt an aggressive position, allows the wrap off from Shalfie, so that second orb can be put to better use elsewhere.
Seen a change as well from 9 Pandas. I was curious what kind of alternatives they go for. Dilladez has really been struggling on B sides. They've actually sent Idis Balance over there for this round to join him. He's playing more of a static angle. He's allowing Dilladez to play more middle. Like, Dilladez is typically one of the guys over the duration of this tournament that has been popping off round after round after round. He's been very silent, especially on the second half. B-side just seems uncomfortable for him. May very well try and push out there as well. You can see that nothing's really happened over on the B tunnel side. At some point, someone may try and flank round the back, get into lower tunnels and have a quick peek. But for the time being, this is leaving Glowing alone to fend off the A site. He does have backup in the form of Resalt up on long, but he's been mollied out, flashed alongside it. Does stand his ground for 1. Any more kills would be huge, and it could be the beginning of the end for Dust 2. Wrinkle comes in for a Tech 9 frag and a spray from YoCap, good for 1. But it's gonna have to be down to Wrinkle one more time as he lands the headshot, but it's not quite good enough. They tried their best to make the comeback, but we go the distance to Mirage.
Yes, we are going to get the 3rd map. 9 Pandas again. They were letting a lead slip away from them. NIP creeping stealthily back into the game. But in the end, it's going to be 1-1. We are going to Mirage. I'll start with you, Maui. What do you make of that one then? Once again, your boy fighting valiantly.
Wrinkle's doing the absolute most that he can. Yeah. That's for sure. But overall, horrendous start for NIP in this one. Once again, this was a punish pick from 9 Pandas. Yeah. They did target this intentionally. They had a pretty decent win rate overall. Not necessarily a map that they've been going to heavily at this tournament per se, but in the grand scheme of things, this T-side start from 9 Pandas was just blistering, and practically it felt like everything was working for them. NIP tried to throw a little bit of disruption into the direction of 9 Panda, but yeah, I think God was on Shalfie's side and for the rest of 9 Pandas too.
Yeah, I think they were just having a strong default at the start of the game, right? Like managing to find openings or at least trades out of that, and then mid-round pretty easily and pretty decently. Threw in a couple of pop plays there. I mean, this was sick for me. This is the first round NIP win. It's a 4v5, and they just sort of line up perfectly for him. But yeah, 9 Pandas just being able to sort of
they're nuts. They won that so easily.
It felt like, and then even though it got,
I guess easily. T-side easy.
Yeah, and look, we've talked a little.
CT, they fucking almost blew it.
On them. I think
that's expected, to be honest.
Side, you know,
nerves.
Really pay attention to some of these players as
Once
well.
they start get the ball rolling.
Been doing very well. Overall,
even there, he could have had that.
And I think you can understand why he's like an integral player. He was good again here, and Resalt as well.
Jacob
back.
Yo Cabo.
I mean, you know, he needed a big performance on this map, and he delivered as well.
I feel like Idis Balance has gotten a little bit better in this series than from the other ones. I'd say he's a little bit hit or miss. Resalt has been pretty solid for them. Still,
KDs are all over the place, bro.
That I've wanted from him in the series, but no, Idis Balance.
I'm old enough to remember when he was meant to be the next big thing. I mean, if you remember, there was a lot of talk about how he was going to be the emergent
on Spirit.
Before Dexter came.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, he hasn't delivered on that promise, but there was a reason people were saying it. His ceiling is still very high. It's just we don't see him up there that often.
I would say consistency issues have really marred Idis Balance. Like, he'll have these sort of pop-off games here, but I think it's actually kind of map dependent. I gotta check out his map stats a little closer, because I think Dust 2 has been one where he's actually been a contributing member for 9 Pandas so far at this RMR, and just whenever.
I mean, that also just only depends on your fucking team you're on too. Like,
also on top of what IDIT's balance here.
Certain maps you play a certain fucking role, not a certain role, but you play a fucking certain strat on that map. May not be utilizing him whatsoever, but on this one,
what sort of conflict
he has to be utilized.
Anything to add about
I don't know.
Balance's performance?
Yeah,
That's
I
kind
mean,
of a
he was
stupid
solid.
take,
We
but
saw towards the tail end, they're just also managing to find a couple of entry kills and tags just with the initial peak with the off through double doors, who obviously makes the life so much easier for the in-game leader too when you play with that sort of an advantage. And it was just that feeling where they win the second pistol, right? So they're up 11-2, and then you're like, okay, we lose the second round. Oh, we'll win no matter what, and it's getting really close. And then, fortunately, attack pause, Richard.
Yeah, well, look, okay, let's talk about it, right? So this happened before the tech pause, if memory serves me correctly. Let's just take a look at this wrinkle clutch, because this was big. This is when I thought, oh, wow, okay, the comeback is real.
Sure. So on round 19 here, great start from 9Pandas overall.
Oh, when I went to the bathroom.
Sure, there's a flurry of frags in their favor to bring it back, but Wrinkle in the 1 versus 3 gets the kill towards middle, jumps down to take down Glowing, who's unsure of where Wrinkle went to, because there was a bit of a gap of information right there for them. But overall, I mean, that round, we saw stuff like that on Ancient, where he helped Isaac win the 2v4. Like, Wrinkle is pulling off heroic stuff overall.
13-10, 13-10.
Off of that momentum.
Yeah, and then
This next map could go to overtime. That'd be good.
Obviously, you put
That'd be
your
good.
coach head on for a little moment, and you were kind of like, look, unless something really drastic has happened here, this is not what you do not want to break up the momentum.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if a player has an issue and can't play the game properly, right? Like, I mean, you need to pause and sort it out. But if it's something minor, like you're in the middle of a comeback, and then there's a slightly long tech pause, I don't know how to put it. You're going up against a half-bite. This is off the back of the Wrinkle clutch, and the round falls apart, right? I mean, trying to go for long, just in a half-bite, the CTs are going to take some more risks. It pays off. They're hit.
The Weed Man.
They get on match point.
The Weed Man.
The second half.
Hunter Beam.
And I'm like, I think we even had this
Hold up.
one time when I was in phase.
Hold up.
And I remember just telling the player, bro, unless it's something like
Hold up.
cannot play the game, let's just get back in.
What does that say?
What to do? We're only, and they were out of timeouts, I think, the opponents too. So it was just this unique
Whoa.
situation where
Whoa.
I know you're gonna get a lot of.
We just got a message.
Be like, oh, how is he
As of 16 seconds ago.
You know, like he's supposed. You know, you need to be able to fix it, but
All you need to see is the HB. Hunter Beam.
You're spot on. I think people at home
What's
might
good?
really understand, like,
Posted.
issues.
What's good with you?
green than it's supposed to be. I feel like my bullets are
Er.
traveling slower than they're supposed to be.
Er.
It's gonna be-
You don't even need to see that focus. You know that says what's good. That says what's good.
Lag spikes all the time. It's like,
From the big dawn.
fine. We're coming back. We don't need you right now. You know, like you're not the main thing.
Because the composure for them in that following round that we showed is just like they're getting picked off by pistols who are just kind of going on these little hit and run missions. They're like peeking out a little bit, getting a couple shots off, then they're tucking back in, and it just felt like NIP weren't as composed after that long tech pause that clearly threw off their focus.
And like you say, to lose to kind of half by, you know, that's
funny.
What delivered the game to 9Pandas, you know, so definitely something to think about.
Oh shit! Went to the wrong
thanks for
screen.
the coaching insight. I'll stay on that. We're going into Mirage. So who's winning this one and why?
This is where
Mirage.
I would just favor 9Pandas for what they've shown me thus far in the RMR. Watching them play against Aurora, this is again I'm
Really?
saying his name repeatedly for the side of 9Pandas.
Oh yeah.
Such an
I
integral
was gonna say Ninjas in Pajamas just because how Wrinkle pops off on this fucking map.
It's like he just goes everywhere. Like usually in these kinds of positions, I would be like, oh, he plays Con. Watch out for him in Con. But actually,
Wrinkle fucking goes nutty pajamas on this fucking map. Like literally every time.
Spot is it just looks like he gets to go mid in a variety of ways on every single round, even on T side. Sometimes he'll come from the top, sometimes he'll go from underpass. Like he gets to just call his own number as far as I can tell, and he has great intuition on this map, and he is going to probably be the difference maker for me on this side for sure for 9Pandas.
Yeah, I think 9Pandas just looked better so far in this series.
Hold on.
In Ancient, they had a big
Breaking news.
Well, that's too. Almost last
After
slip,
18
but,
days of
the
counting
Russians
votes,
pulled out last minute. I think
Democrats are now 500 votes.
All right, thanks, guys. We're going to a break. We're going to see if the ninjas are going to assassinate the pandas or whether the pandas will banish them.
We
back
have
to
to
the
stop
show.
the steal, they
Find
keep
out
saying.
after the break.
She said she loves you.
Let's turn this down a little bit. I will say, to be honest, with a lot, to get off topic, a lot of this election stuff is this stupid, and Elon Musk is talking about it. It's like, why, like, who gives a fuck? If your personality is straight up politics, kill yourself. That's just me. But that's just me. Some say, but that's just me. Well, Hunter, I need you to reply. Five minutes. Spirit. Team Spirit. Nips up, but yeah, but like that's the thing. These look at these people. Nips up, all that stuff. Like, you know who fucking Nips Op is? Fucking Wrinkle. No shit if his like that's any fucking tier 1. If the op's not there, you're not gonna fucking win shit. You're not gonna fucking get the fucking. Oh, you что? Ой, что, Мариска? Ай, Мариска. I might not subscribe to PGL. I need Hunter to fucking reply. eh. 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 Oh, Hunter. So Sashi Esport is undefeated? Damn. That's kind of fucking nuts. On the just 9 Pandas versus Spirit. Didn't Spirit win both of the fucking all of their matches? Uh-huh. Oh, fuck. Oh, Shanghai. That's cute. I'm like, where the fuck does this figure come from? But that makes sense. He's supposed to be the in the 2024 logo.
RMR for Europe. Third and final map here between NIP and, of course, their opponents in 9 Pandas. A close second affair, Vince, but they find their way through it, so it all has to end on Mirage. But who will it be an Oasis for? And who will it be just that, a Mirage?
That is the question that we are all waiting with bated breath. That 13-10 scoreline on Dust 2, alongside the first one, to be fair, doesn't really paint the full picture as to how we got to that point, that result. It was super back and forth, fast leads being lost and then re-extended on Dust 2, with Nip making a crazy comeback on the very first map. So, stats-wise, we talked about this before, Mirage should lend itself to 9 Pandas. From what I've seen so far on these 2 first maps, I have absolutely no idea who's winning this.
Yeah, I think expectations and statistical breakdowns are out the window at this point, right? It will just go
100%
on the server. Put your best foot forward, fight for survival here. You need the W to stay in the runnings for the Shanghai Major. It's all on the line. We've seen great rounds from Wrinkle, Rez having his moments, missed them showing up back in map 1, Isaac with important clutches over on 9 Pandas. Resort felt like he went a bit quiet, glowing. Conversation was, is he going to be absent on the server? Xiaofi was dealing damage. Dilladez with a deagle has been lethal, but it's all got to be said here. T-side start for NIP, 9 Pandas on the CT side. We get into the groove of things. Third and final map, it's all on Mirage.
Well, the T side has been a little bit of...
Yeah, this is absolutely...
Motherfucker!
With me using Truthfinder to find some long-lost childhood friends. When I was young...
had success towards the end, but the leaping across, Jakob is taken down first. Resort in the meanwhile, though, dialing in some more frags, and it's pretty much everybody lending a hand in this one. Misstep, he had tons of impact on Dust 2, but this just feels like it's a little bit too much to ask for. There is a low in... Dilladez down on the get-right position, who can get finalized here, but he's just baiting Mistem out into the open for Dilladez to shut him down for a 3K and get 9 Pandas in the lead.
The pistol prowess of Dilladez has been felt throughout this series, and again, another round where he's able to show us what he's made of from the short angle. Taking scouts in the round. And kicking things off with a good CT side boon. Excitement there for him as well.
Oh, I love it, man. He's been like this all day. All tournament, to be fair to him. One downside is when things start to go awry, can get very quiet over on the 9 Pandas side of things. That HE is destined for damage. Missed him, tagged down at 27, but will stand and deliver for 1. Problem is that Glowing is now just picking apart the rest of the T's with that FAMAS. Second kill is good, though, and a deagle traded up to for Yokab. Ooh, I thought for a second that had connected. Would have been costly, but 9 Pandas take the 2-0.
Yeah, good crouch into it. Felt like he was ready for that one. But nice hold from Glowing. And the second round picked up relatively cleanly. And here comes the buy. The T side of NIP with the AKs out on parade. Oh, nades to play with as well here going into the third. So a bit more stock in this round. Let's see what the call is. Early mid-smoke out towards the window. Follow-up going to be blocking off connector as well. So they can run out, see if they can fight for this. A bit of block on that from the CT side perspective. They're just peeking over the top as well, looking for the fight here. Flashback in. It's completely missed off the back of the body block. They're able to fight from it. It's a quick reposition round towards the B side. Resort caught in transition through the window. Shalfie with 1 headshot connection back onto Isaac. But Yokab, he's looking to brawl, causing issues inside of the market. Checks out with 2, Glowing, burning alive, but still strikes on the FAMAS. But that might be all they get from this.
Yeah, with the tons of casualties they've taken over the duration of these first 2 rounds as well, they're not really in a position where their economy can afford to lose more weapons. They have to just save. And Mistem knows it. He's on the prowl. He's on the hunt. Wants to try and finalize these 2 last pesky CTs and drop their weapons to the deck. Glowing behind CT. Box in the toll booth. May pay the price. In just a few moments' time, Mistem is going to clear this angle and will take him down. And now Dilladez realizes he's in a real world of hurt. Mistem picks up the pace. Good snap headshot. No survivors. Ooh. And Iris Balance, Dilladez, both down at $1,400. Precarious position for 9 Pandas now. they may want to just tap out of this round, but they're going to force instead. Yeah, 2 players having a double save is never a great position to be in. So, I mean, you are looking at 2 5.7s, a Deagle actually alongside the 5.7, and MP9. No kits and a distinct lack of utility on top of it.
Run down on short. Rez repositioning quickly, squeezing map control on the CT side. Break on the window, smoke peek out, but Wrinkle will take the face and win that one comfortably. So Shalfie slain. Yokab can tuck in close in the smoke towards connector as well. Diladaz, he's been lethal with that dig. This is a rough encounter for him and Resort. They look to clear it. Rez on the run in, 1-for-1 trade. Missed him with a bite back. High disbalance here on jungle side.
Jakob!
1 by 1. Mopping up the Pandas. Window of opportunity for Diladez well and truly gone. He can get his hands back on the hot rod, but this 4th round looking everything is good for Nick.
Oh!
That'd be a good take out of it, though. A second rifle. And keep in mind, Diladez has a Deagle, so he can drop that across one of his teammates, assuming they can hold on to these 2. But what makes this 3rd map such an enticing proposition is that when you look at the sort of trajectory to this point, and yes, I completely agree, throw all the normal stats and everything out the window, it's all about this map, but you have the 2 AWPers and their respective teams. The 2 players are playing the best on the server by a considerable distance. Disbalance having one of the best performances of his entire event so far. 40 kills. Wrinkle, 41 frags. There's such little to determine between these 2 AWPers right now. The ADR, 88 to 86. The rating, 1.34 to 1.36. It is so close between these 2. But the problem here early doors is that because of how scrappy the start has been from Disbalance on 9 Pandas, he's not going to be able to get an AWP for quite some time. This is actually stalling and stymieing your heavy-hitting player that is feeling it right now.
Yeah.
That's the difference in opening duels as well. Like coming into this series, Wrinkle had twice the amount of opening duels he was being able to find. 27% conversion rate compared to the 13.4% that we'd seen from Disbalance. As we were saying, it's one being proactive, whereas the others watching it happen, looking to react off the back. This is really rough for Glowing, really burnt to a crisp instantly. No HP left, and that's the rifle that was in his hands. You bleed back out on mid-side, looking to just throw bodies at the problem. See if you can make it uncomfortable here in the battle of attrition. Rez being run down. No escape. Result sprinkles the bullets on top. And NIP respond with a barrel out into the bomb site. Heads up Molotov as well. Stops Disbalance getting back around.
It surprises me somewhat that Diladez is still here. They have no kit. They don't really have much utility either. And additionally, 2 players without armor. Aim punch going to be a real problem, but they want to try and still go for this one. They need to get their first kill. They do get it down, but they've lost both players as a result. And I mean, I know hindsight.
He thought he had the kill there.
It's easy for us to make these kind of judgments, and yes, they can also buy, but it felt like the chances of them winning that round were so low. Saving the AK surely is the better play long term.
Yeah, I tried to chase on the economy on that one, see if they could find anything from it, but really messy in the initial engagements. It was Glowing that was burning. Response back onto Residence and top mid that afforded them those AKs. Down to 2 players, but NIP taking the bomb plant and the round. So 1 ahead, 3-2 split here in the 3rd map.
Uisto.
Disbalance, A1S in play. Can't go will find the first pick. Wrinkle with a rapid response, straight back down. It's a carnage up middle. Everyone's scrapping.
Both teams giving as good as they get. Wrinkle down low, HP has already picked up 1. Diladez on 9 frags, who did get in amongst it, also vested. Good to see him back on the server again after a rough dust too. But it is Yokab. Edging NIP slightly in the lead. Oh, but he gets caught in the side. Not anticipating Disbalance, missed him. Insta-trade back again, just back and forth encounters between the 2 teams. Standing in the middle of the ring and exchanging haymakers. Glowing though gets the KO blow onto Mistem. But the bomb is now transitioning back through the T-spawn. In the hands of Wrinkle and Isaac. And with Glowing making moves into Con, he may have just overthought this. He's playing himself off the site, but now he goes back on there again. He could be there to receive and to take down these T's. Even if he picks off a low wrinkle, that could be good enough.
It's huge.
Qualifiers is where we've seen this man absolutely thrive. But in this round, it's going to be a fast peek in from Wrinkle, low on health, opens it up, shuts him down, doesn't expect the second to be in close proximity, and it's Isaac back in a 1v2. He broke their backs on Ancient in this exact position. Can he roll it right back? Time ticking away. Throws in the Molotov and the HE. He's looking to try and get himself to plant down as he a fast peek from CT, and that side disbalance with a round.
Yeah, Glowing wouldn't have been affected by those grenades either because he knew the time was so low, the full-on plant would have to come through, so he just runs him down and runs him through in the end. 3-3, 9 Pandas finally have an AWP in the hands of iDisbalance for what I believe is the first time on this half. Taking that away from Wrinkle. So let's see if he can have that same level of impact. They will be having to withstand up against NIP on another full investment. It is 2 MAC-10s. 2 players without head armor could be caught off guard by this. Oh, never mind. Dilides had a bit extra cash. It's only iDisbalance without the helmet.
Quiet game from Rez to this point as well. He's had his key rounds over the series. Slow to start. How does he finish? That's always the big question. Very early doors in the third map so far. iDisbalance sets himself up by the ticket booth with support of Glowing on the bomb site. Dilides posturing off, so it's a fast hit here from Mistum. He's able to get short control instantly. He can be the distraction piece and potentially the backstab that can kill Xiaofi. Then you go barreling out onto the bomb site. It's all down to Resort. That's only the MP9. Utility's gone for him. Oh, tucks in, looking for 2. Gets him low, but Isaac will bypass. Retake's already arriving on the scenes. He's looking to try and get that fast deny onto the bomb, but missed him towards E-Box, hits the head, and the round's gone with it.
Nice. It's gonna be a good fucking match.
Bypassing
I think this is probably gonna go to overtime.
For him. It's like, yeah, I finally got you up, guys. Let's go. Oh, you've hit B and after save. Brilliant.
Yeah, right.
So back he'll fall into the palace with Glow.
You are not simple.
Great call by NIP though, and yeah, you mentioned that they had this kind of this 2-hit.
Or is that the Ryu?
Running and gunning up on the catwalk while the bulk of the T's exploded out of BAPS, but there's only one player there for 9 Pandas as well. Like, there's not too much he could have done about that really. I think it was Resort with the MP9. He got the 1 kill, but he was just overwhelmed, just swarmed by aggressors. I do wonder if this continues to be a problem over on B, if they're going to send a second player over there, at least to play on catwalk. Just to help him out just a tiny bit. I mean, there's not much that Resort can do if he's getting rushed down by 4 and 5 players.
We had Xiaofi on short, but obviously he just got backstabbed instantly. So as soon as he went down, everyone was able to run on out. And he was trying to set him up with a utility and then just got mowed down by the max. So it went a bit south for them pretty quickly on that one. Investment into the utility around the weapons they've still got to play with. Glowing's AK and iDisbalance on the orb. Wrinkle can take fights here, though. Comfortable in these sort of scenarios. Glowing.
Ooh, alright, buddy, that was... I don't know where the fuck you thought that spray was going.
Minute and 35 seconds. All 3 players here towards the A site, drawing rotations over from the Pandas.
Slowed down. I mean, the smoke's in their eyes. They can't really do much of Isaac's position outside of Palace. Now it's going to start to fade. Tons of utility. You got 3 Molotovs, loads of flashes. Peeking in like this again just plays into the hands of Result, but you do remove his head. And Dilides, who's been patiently waiting beside the box, knows at least 2 players now up on the ramp side, but he may be unsure as to Isaac's current position. As he goes in for the swing, looks for the deagle. It's all gone horribly wrong. Xiaofi tries to lay down with the 5-7, but there is Yokab to pick it off. It was looking shaky for NIP. 1 HP for Mistem.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
And take the 5th.
The wiffle bat deagle from Dilides. He's hit some big shots with the gun over the course of this series. Back on Ancient, absolutely feasting with it, but not here, not this time. So another this time with a good start. It's always been slow for Vince. Feels like they play on the back foot. They're able to find their way back in the late game. This time around, just starting to command early, finding confidence.
Honestly, though, if NIP is gonna want to win this, they gotta get like fucking at least 3 more rounds and the fucking and win the pistol.
The battle of the Orpas there versus Balance, and NIP have got the Orpa hand on this round. Quick into A, block off all the potential response from the CTs, fragment the map.
Oh!
Take that one. The AK dismantles him, and Result watching all of his teammates get thrown into the blender around him.
Ooh!
Let's hit a nice adjustment shot there on the run out towards Rez. Can grab an AK from it, but that's all he's going to have if he can keep it alive. And we've missed him on the bomb site. Should be bang to rights. Clean up on this one. A full house of NIP taking 6.
Ugly ass fucking Talon.
I love how aggressive and ruthless NIP are playing as well. Dying embers of this all-important match just to survive, to watch on while the rest of these games unfold. A lot of Counter-Strike to be played today. One of these teams will be locking themselves into that final matchup later on. But they're so aggressive, not letting 9 Pandas get comfortable, not letting them get into positions. It's just run and gun. And even in the rounds where they've been a little bit later to execute, like a couple of rounds ago, the initial charge is there. They're terrifying 9 Pandas, making them throw out their utility early on and then just bypassing it. I mean, they got a 42% win rate on Mirage coming into the RMRs.
Okay.
And right now, they are looking clinical on this side. Shalfie seems to have some tech issues going on.
Yeah, locked into a back and forth here with the admin. So a technical pause, throwing a bit of a spanner in the works.
Okay.
We'll see what the resolution is. Headset off for now. Just the one flip-flop.
Got Result as well, sat back in his chair. Oh dear. Not even sure what the problem is. Because, I mean, the Counter-Strike's up, so I guess it's some kind of audio problems going on.
Yeah, seems like it. I was pointing at the monitor, communicating with the admin. Seems a bit frustrated.
Yeah, this also happened on the last map as well when NIP were really surging ahead. They had tons of momentum built behind them. Their tech issue came in. It seemed to... I'm not saying that was the reason why they lost the game or anything, of course not, but it certainly didn't help. Same kind of situation here as well, off to a cracking start on their T side. I mean, coming through into this, you've got 2 players well over 120 ADR, and it's not really the usual suspects. It's YoCab, who had so many impactful rounds. Obviously, the wraparound from Market, where he shut down 2, basically outright won the round. They got Mistem again as well, who was great on Dust 2. Rez is down at 24 ADR, and Isaac's down at 39. So they are straight up bludgeoning 9 Pandas without a lot of those heavy hitters fully activating and arriving on the server just yet.
Well, in is back in. Headset placed over the top. Perhaps we're getting closer to this one going live again. We'll see. In terms of the organizations, though, what they're working for here, obviously, with their major appearances, NIP head and shoulders above the rest, 16 appearances at Counter-Strike majors over the course of their tenure for the organization. 3rd all-time, tied behind Fnatic and Na'Vi. Rez, he's the only one with the major experience on this roster, of course. 7 major appearances for him. Wrinkle, Mistem, and YoCab looking to make their debut. Oh, and Isaac, of course. Can't forget about him, mate. What, he's had like 3 majors now, I think? I forgot about him, really, with how good he looked back on Ancient, mate.
He's been to a fair few.
With some paper towels. Drink spillage, is that what's happened here? The socks come off. Yeah, I think he spilt a drink. He's getting the feet out for free. Shalfie, put those away.
I'm so confused. If it was a spilt drink, why is it taking that long for...
Did it go on the computer? Because obviously he was pointing at the headphones, the in-ears.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe he's drenched his toes and the PC.
God.
I don't know, Vince. Speculation, but it looks like a bit of panic. There's the paper towels in the hand. The admin, a bit confused. Wet sock there. You can see right through it. Oh, dear.
I'm so perplexed what the hell's happening. Because normally when we have these tech issues, you can see people like scrambling around, all tabbing, typing on the keyboard and stuff. This is just like Shalfie's having a chill conversation with the referee. Like, how's your day today, mate? Right. Okay. Resalt's put his headset back on. Shalfie's got his in-ears. He's put his headset back on. Let's go. Fierce is stood up. It's looking good. I don't want to jinx it, but it's looking good. Oh, yeah, you can see the liquid there, can't you, on the right side of the chair. There's a fair bit of it on the floor.
I think that's the 4th spillage we've seen on casts between the both of us over the course of this one.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to keep those liquids contained.
And I think 2 or 3 of them were in the Americas RMRs.
Yeah. I think, who was it? Art Frost that accidentally spilled like a whole bottle of water on his desk, and that took ages to clean up.
Yeah, and that's also in the same game, I think, when he was mega tilted.
He was real frustrated. Yeah, he was super angry.
All right, and then NIP call a timeout. So obviously, all of the tech issues, they couldn't speak to each other. Had to just sit in silence, call a timeout straight away, make sure everyone is dialed in. Makes a lot of sense why you'd want to pull this one into play. And NIP have shown with Exist, to be fair, over the duration of the RMRs, but especially in this game, they're not scared to throw a couple timeouts early on in the map, just to make sure they get the best possible start. We've seen this in both of the maps now, leading into Mirage. They're up against an eco. M4 for Resalt has been purchased. He's down to $0. So more of a hero M4 it looks like. And everybody else is happy enough just to go down to the pistols. So we'll see if that has been a bit of a combo breaker for NIP coming straight back into this. They've picked up 6 of the last 7 rounds, and Wrinkle showing no signs of slowing down.
No, certainly not. Fast hit there through the wall. Dojas tries to duck and dive, but you can't dodge Wrinkle. A hefty pick, and they wanted to go for this little boost with the rifle on top, so Resort playing on top of triple, but no one's here. So they take space, bleed down the ramp, see if they can get a read on what's going on the round. It's Wrinkle holding for that. So if they go for the raw rotate, he'd be in position to hold them back. It's just Shalfie. Single smoke dashed in. Buy a bit of time for the rotation. On the move, it's Idis Balance, but it's only really going to be the 5.7 and the P250 for a late hit on the bomb site if they come a knocking. They don't necessarily need to either. Tons of time still on the clock. They've got a boatload of utility with 3 players towards mid-side. Block off connector and window. Bombs on the back have missed them. Utility being thrown into the site, so it's a full 4 stack. But if they catch wind of this, you could bail on the play.
They could, but time now at 30 seconds. It looks like they fully engaged, they fully committed to this play. And Shalfie with the 5.7 is going to be able to deliver the first. This is getting awkward real quick, and it's gone from bad to worse. Resalt is chipping in for 2 frags. Yokab misses every bullet. And although Rez finally shows his hands, is it too little too late with 15 seconds? They come out into the open, and Shalfie puts him out with the AK. NIP have been broken. A great start, but they move into the stack site and they get punished.
A slow round with them walking into their demise. Started off with Shalfie on shore. They just kept finding kills. No room for trades. Went down to Rez, doubled his kills over the course of this map so far in a single round, but not enough to clutch it. And Shalfie, after wiping away the water, it's tears that he's spilling in that round.
Yeah, I like to believe he's just got like a bottle of his enemy's tears he just throws on the ground now and again.
Sorry, admin, it's gone everywhere.
Like, consecrate the ground around him, you know?
You'd need a blessing with how this one started. Idis Balance does get the orb. Back towards the ticket booth again this time. We've seen it before. It was the first outing he had with the AWP. It was limited success. We saw a late B hit from NIP there. That was pre-pause on this one. They bloke open, looking for the peek down in case someone's going in for the connector hit. Look at the position from Rez though, inside of the window here, just on the alcove. Oh, and Resource about to be tested. So many angles, you can swing in, bait the crosshair off, can't even get the first. They overwhelm him, barrel into the bomb site. You can have that rotation cut off as well by Rez. Shalfie, show us what you're made of here. Can the Night Witch turn this into nightmares for NIP as they bail on the play? 50 seconds on the clock. Rez calling for the rat back. He's in jungle. Glowing tucks in through the connector smoke. Hearing the footsteps, but you're going to be peeked from both sides, trying to decide where to look, and Rez has got the right idea. And one by one, NIP win their duels. Wrinkle with a closer, and a 7th taken on their T side.
Impressive mental fortitude as well after the timeout. After the tech issue, to lose around the nature that they did. They didn't press the self-destruct button, didn't get on their own backs. They come straight through. They get the success. They break 9 Pandas back down to size. And it's forced them into a Deagle, a 5-7, and a couple of FAMASs. Now, they still have the open play, but Idis Balance has not had anywhere near that same level of impact on this CT side as we've seen throughout the duration of the best of 3. A lot of that has been because of the economy not allowing him to, but Rez this time just enforces his will up on middle, and it's an almost carbon copy play of the last round. Straight up into window as to try and backstab them, glowing in all kinds of bother right now, and that HG could finish him off, but he decides to wide swing and take the life of Yocap in the process.
Scrappy round, throwing everything bar the kitchen sink at one another. Weapons grabbed, glowing with the arabesque. Can he do his very best in a round like this to hold back the oncoming onslaught? Missed them, overwhelmed. The Thanos makes a huge play, but Rez with the tag softens them up. Up on the stairs, looking for the closer. He was brought back to life by the homies in that round, but in the end goes down 5-7. A little bit of steam towards the tail end, but a quiet half for 9 Pandas overall.
Gotta give a lot of credit to how Glowing played that shadow position there with the 5-7 man. He was an absolute nuisance. He was a menace. It would have felt like a death by 1,000 paper cuts. He kept going for the wide swings. They pull a grenade out, he wide swing, one taps you. Stays alive the entire time, and therefore you have to have at least one set of eyes watching Shadow for that repeak, so it allows the default position and the toll booth position to really excel, to really thrive. The pressure was off their shoulders because Glowing was just absorbing it like a sponge. Such a good round by him. And that's that kind of experience that we've been missing for the duration of how 9 Pandas have really came into this tournament. He normally is one of the guys you can rely on to have the big plays.
Maybe you should have got him to help suck up the water, Vince. If he's looking like a sponge, would have fixed that tech pause.
I just have like really weird mental images now of him just sucking on the carpet. Like, I don't know why my brain's gone there. Look, it's early in the morning.
It's fair enough. It's fair enough. Right then. Well, 7-5, closer than it looked like it was going to go. Oh, technical timeout.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, it's not happened again, is it?
Not another spill.
Surely not Isaac.
I can't see because referee's in the way, but he's looking to the floor for something. What's happened here? I don't see any liquids.
Right, no water. Maybe just a raw technical issue on this one.
I have to get Glowing on the case. Just pops in. Hey, there's a spillage.
Don't worry, I won't talk during the pause. I'm just going to mop this up quick for you. Right, okay. Looks like it's fixed. Headset back on. Maybe just a minor issue there. Something getting pulled a little bit, potentially. Love hearts in the spawn, but no love on the server between these two. It's all for survival. Got to win this game and then keep your eyes honed in on the other results that are coming through over the course of the day to see whether or not you make it in that 6th place or have to play out the 7th place decider. Investment into the pistol is going to be the HE for Yocab, Incendiary for Isaac. Smokes for the setup with Flashbang supporting that here from Shalfie and Dilladez with the core of the squad grouping up for a Palace pop on the run out.
All the sound cues have been cut, but they're about to be ripped back open again. Smoke's now being deployed, 2 of them. Blocking off the jungle and staircase. But Nine Pandas not fully committing just yet. They're about to make that explosion outside of Palace with a flashbang alongside it. But Wrinkle, even while Flash picks up 2, but now there's a flurry of frags back in Nine Pandas' favor. Dilladez and Result getting the bomb planted down. Isaac needs to have impact over on CT's side, but he's in the car second best. It's Result that goes back in for a second kill. And now Yokab, he's had a really good map so far, but that USP is going to need to be surgical to crack back open this site, to get him in with an opportunity to try and clutch out. The first kill is good, and there is the second. Yokab continues to twist the knife, twist the scalpel in the ribs of Nine Pandas as they'll go 8-5 in the lead.
16 kills to his name, a 1v2 attributed to him there, giving them an 8th round. It felt like they had done it. The crocodile tears from Resort's P250. But on the jump up towards ticket booth, no success. It all was started by Wrinkle as well. Beautiful double up for him. And with time ticking away, Yokab hits some beautiful shots, down to his last 2 bullets on that one, but still hitting it heavy. Whole team firing him up, absolutely ballistic scenes.
Such a good confidence builder, but Dilladez is going to try and shatter that mantle as soon as possible, and it's a really good kill at range with a Galil. Wrinkle goes down. Mid control not quite established as NIP quickly rummage up close and try and scarper into a crossfire with Yokab and Rez. Once that smoke clears though, Rez will be cognizant of an underpass push. Now we know it's not forthcoming, but NIP aren't sure about this right now. Very packed.
Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Slow it right down, play for the choke points. 2 players set up there, round towards connector. Peek out from short side as well from Yokab. 50 seconds left on the clock. You're going to be walking down, missed them, ready with the A1S. As soon as you peek in, you better hope you find those quick kills. Nice, glowing, gory on the Galil. Excellence in the round. 1 by 1, every encounter is a W for them. And Isaac is all that remains, with no room to really find impact or get anything from this. The bomb's going to be going down. Nine Pandas taking their 6th on the T side.
All of the cries of elation and joy, jubilation after Yokab's slick 1v2 have now been suppressed. Because they realize it gave them a great advantage, but they have stumbled and fumbled it on the first hurdle. Nine Pan is into a really good position now. Like, you're looking at just a save on this MP9. There really won't be much else to play with on an IP unless they go for a full-on investment with 5.7s, Deagles. That's about as good as they're going to be able to muster here. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at double eco territory, so it will be a scraped together buy, but Nine Pandas will be feeling very confident about how their prospects around 15 are looking right now.
5.7s can still be worth their weight in gold, but it depends how they play it really here into the 15th. NIP have won some very strange rounds like this over the course of the series. Just don't count them out. Let's see what they've got. Rez with the moves, backed up by Wrinkle. Control the underpass with the rest of the players grouped up. They're going to get a read on this instantly, so they'll know if they can wrap off. Go for the setup towards the A site. Confirming no one's here. Smokes out on mid. They're starting to take a bit of space on ramp as well. Mistum tucks in. Wrap back for Shalfie. He can secure the bomb. They're just trying to clear this out. Make sure no one's hiding on the bomb site. Restrict vision. Outer smokes though, just down to flashbangs and that one Molotov. 4 players on CT. Flash over the top for the peek in, but the MP9 supported with Wrinkles 5.7. Right on top, Sadilades. Down and out. Rez on the flank found. M4 cold in the ground. They can grab that one, try and keep some of these weapons in play going into the next.
Yeah, exactly. You can run it back. You can have a do-over. They tried. They nearly found the gap to exploit. There was a rotational player in the form of Rez that got shut down at T-spawn. Oh, if Glowing pushes through the murder hole, it will live up to its name. He's going to get shut down from the side on Mistem, and that would be an upgraded Galil. So he decides better of it, and that certainly was the correct decision. So 8-7. Also really interesting comparatively how NIP are occupying these kind of like eco-awkward force buy rounds as compared to 9Pandas, who were in this position quite a few times. And they were so passive, so default in how they set up time after time. NIP already showing that they have no problems getting mega aggressive, you know, pushing B-apps, getting into underpass early on, getting up close on ramp and palace. I do wonder, as we continue on towards the bitter end of this map, if that's going to be something that they can pull out and maybe get a victory from further down the line. We'll have to wait and see. In terms of this round, though, they do run it back. 257 is almost an identical buy, but this time they do have the M4 on top of it. See if they can put it to use.
Missed them close on that ramp position. With a small veil, a smoke, restricting them from being able to run on in on this. Smoke over the top. Deep in connector. Looks like there could be a bit of a gap on that one for the peek in, so the 5-7's not repositioning off. Oh, it's actually on top. It looked awkward on the mini-map, so they put an afro on connector, but it's not really going to restrict vision. Glowing now gets visual on this on the peek out. 1 for 1. MP9 Feast, here's the swing, the setup you were waiting for, and missed him, and he hits him. Swinging back, success with the MP9. It's all starting to go wrong for the Pandas, endangered in this round, and look at the position for Wrinkle. Oh, he's right on target. But the stopwatch could be a problem. Shalfie, he spots him, lines it up with a Galil, takes a couple of shots. He can grab the gun. Only 33 seconds left on the timer for this one.
Exactly, and because even though he died, he saw both players, or at least he heard the first and got shot in the back from the second. And with the bomb down on ramp, they know it has to be A, so they can position accordingly. 2 players in shadow. This looks like it's the nuts position. This looks like it cannot lose from here on out, but maybe I spoke too soon. The 5-7 now comes in. Result nails it. Oh, they had 2 facing opportunities, but NIP squandered both. How have 9Pandas managed to win that?
Felt like it had all gone wrong. At every turn, uncomfortable. The miss smoke, the fight for both of the SMGs. Missed them with a double up on the ramp. You catch your timing on the T-spawn flank of Rez. But boy, oh boy, that 5-7 not delivering at least there in the 1v2 on the tail end. 8-8, tied back up. Another pause going to be called in.
Feels like it might be more of a detox than anything else, man, because time was so low. They had 2 separate peaks, but it was slightly disjointed, but you still feel like one of them's going to win their duel. And then they had the 5-7, the ace up the sleeve. But it just didn't happen. Shalfie was too quick. And we may very well look back to that round, Jackie, at the end of this game and say that was the moment where 9Pandas really stepped it up. We talked about that Isaac clutch that got NIP back into Ancient. That might be the moment for 9Pandas.
And that was the round we're singing about, still giving him his praises, his flowers for his performance there in the 1v2 on Ancient. But where's he been? Isaac, where you at? 3rd map, and he's quiet. 3 kills only. Dilladez on a warpath through underpass. Rez trying to lock it down on the peak. Timing. It's got to back off, throws in the incendiary. Yokab runs back towards short side, tucks himself in so he can't get shot upside the head from the peak on the bench. Dilladez being very proactive with this. Molly deep. Keeps him trapped in position. He's got to go forward. A sliver of space he can tuck himself into. Re-smoke for the escape plan. HE right on target. 1 point of health. Living on borrowed time.
Shalfie collects. Oh, some really good Molotovs, though. You can see 1 in the window, 1 up in the ladder room, as you highlighted. But again, a 3rd consecutive round with a fast flank, but it's only as powerful as those that stand on the site. Rez right now is made of sterner stuff. Losing no points of health, pulls out the USP, and it's more of the same. Rez with a hero play. 4 kills already, could be on for the ace. And Shalfie on 29 is trying to play around the bench. But if it's not Rez that gets him, Mistem is in hot pursuit as well. Rez goes down. He has no idea as to where Mistim is, but Rez take a bow. That 4K was huge.
Rez the Rhino ripping them a new one on contact towards the B-bomb side. Perfect placement, making it uncomfortable and giving them a huge lifeline into the game. Beautiful kills. And the insurance policy will pay off. Missed them with the final pick. Smiles all round, screams for the team.
He
was a beast, bud. Yeah, 100%.
Can confirm. Speaks only facts. You are right, though. Like, one of those players on NIP is not like the others. Everyone else is double digits, having moments of craziness and madness and clutches and entry frags, but Isaac has been a bit of a non-factor. Sure, he's playing over on the B site. It can be a rough one. But really highlighting it because we know he's capable of so much more. If he delivers on that prospect here, I mean, it could be the difference maker. Idis Balance not really having the impact either in this round. This could be a great moment to kick things off, though, but the flick is off. And he didn't go for the repeak. There was a Palace player, but Result has been sent out of this round and now forces Idis Balance away. He was playing off the idea of Result, maybe gets a kill, then he can go back into ramp and get a pick, but it's completely backfired as an option.
To start this round off, they snatch the crown from the King of Resort in the Palace. And then in the brawl, it goes down to a real uncomfortable situation. Lesser weapons, but far more firepower in the battle of attrition. And Mistim just waiting for the walkout on the smoke. It's Dilladez holding for this, peering over the top, trying to get a read on the round. Good adjustment. Low HP for Wrinkle. He's got to play a passive angle, tucks himself in on the corner. A lot of noise being heard. Playing off the audio cues, doesn't want to over-egg it on the peak, wants to wait for just the right time to go for the swing back out. Good after, free pick, onto Dilladez and Wrinkle. A 4K with 6 health to his name.
Perfect, and trades up to the AWP additionally. Like, originally he was just playing, like you say, to be a nuisance, to be a nightmare. Like, you know someone's around the Palace area. As long as he doesn't show his hand, they're going to be focused one player over there. It allows the other two to come through. But as soon as he hears the plant and sees that his teammates aren't in position to deny it, that's where he feels like, okay, I've got to be the guy. I've got to be him for this round, and he really was. Oh, the economy for 9 Pandas as well, man. They got an AK, and that's it. We even have Glocks on 3 players. Deagle for Dilladez. Managed to get up close on the chair, and also Dilladez making movements over on B-Apps. But he's not going to be given the chance. Isaac lights up the kill feed.
Fast swing past connector, visual contact there onto the back. That's the ticket booth set up with the AWP of Wrinkle. Resort on the cross isn't so lucky. Gives himself up and gives away another piece of the Panda squadron. One by one, just isolated kills, no room to trade off one another. And it all just keeps going wrong, peak after peak on connector side. Wrinkle finding these for free, an easy round for NIP up against the broken Pandas there. Third timeout going to be called in. NIP on 11 rounds. Third and final map here for survival to keep yourself in the runnings.
Love it, man. The way they're playing right now is so composed. 9 Pandas call their 3rd timeout. And their final one. Getting towards the finish line. Now, obviously, the winner of this will not automatically progress through to the major. They're going to have to wait it out for the rest of the games today. But what we do know is guaranteed, Jackie, is a loser of this is done. Major dream is over. You have to go again next time. 11-8. Galil and Scout as they fully invest into the round. 9 Pandas hanging by a thread, and Wrinkle getting aggressive in Palace. We'll see action sooner rather than later as the slow peek into his crosshair yields the first kill, and he dials it back to the site. They got the pick they were looking for.
The opening jewels continue to support that this man is so quick on his feet, so fast with the picks. Takes control of Palace and postures back towards triple. So 9 Pandas down a man already. And with limited utility to play with going into the 20th. 2 of them down in underpass. Side disbalance with the scout this time, supported by Dilladets, pre-scoped up for no audio cue. They're trying to pull off this split push onto the site. Can they even realistically find a way in? That's the big question. Rez supporting Wrinkle. Advanced angle for Mistem as well, down towards the ramp. Deep smoke on Connector. Throws out the Molotov, trying to force him out if he's playing on the close angle. Now got to be more paranoid about where exactly they are. Smoke on the corner, Wrinkle keeps it locked in. They're walking through the smoke. He's trying to find his opportunity to strike. Oh no, Dilladets, the jump up. He sends himself into the air, but they come crashing right back down in the round as NIP close that one with ease. 12 locked in, 1 away now.
Oh, the panic crept in. And death follows for 9 Pandas as the last round potentially of their tournament lives are going to be down to 2 MAC-10s, 2 Galils, and you can make it 3 MAC-10s. Idis Balance goes in for 1-2, so the run and gun potential is there, but NIP have built up a fortress on this CT side. They're going to be getting aggressive. Running down into underpass for the time being. They cut the sound cues. Don't want the cat player to hear what's about to happen. But considering how often NIP have gone for these long rotations round the back, there will be that little bit of doubt creeping in the back of 9 Pandas' heads, like, is it happening again?
Shrapnel all over mid-side. Damage done onto 2 players. Smoke up through Con. So chip damage already boding well, and an advanced angle being taken for Isaac, pushing the whole way up through the smoke, posting himself up on the settee. Wants to shut them down with the spray. There's only one. Nothing left on the round. 1 by 1, they get funneled into these AKs. And Dilladets is the only man left standing. The Pandas are about to go extinct here in Shanghai as they've got nothing left to fight with. 13th round for NIP. They recover it, locking it down over the course of the series, 2-1. They move on to fight for another day to try and make the major.
And there you have it. NIP are the winners. 9 Pandas are the losers. That's how it works.
Yes. I would say that that is actually the essence of competition, Richard.
Yes.
And one thing that we know is that NIP as an organization know all about competition. 17th major for them in total, 8th for Rez, 4th for Isaac. Everybody else, first time, but exists. This is his 4th or 5th as a coach. I should have known that number off the top of my head. But
that's fine.
It's about there.
We save the research for the later in the morning, don't we? That's not a problem. Yanko, what did you make of that?
Yeah, just a surprising result for me. I thought 9 Pandas were the favorite in this one.
This guy's wearing a panda.
I mean, read the room. Maybe take the silly hat off, mate. Hey, what up? We've just lost.
It's one of those ones where you pull the ears and it just like starts flapping at you.
All right. Sorry, I couldn't.
I thought, but just didn't play all too well in the final map. It was the NIP guys who stepped up, especially Rez and Wrinkle in crunch time in that second half in some back-to-back rounds with 4Ks, like broke the momentum that 9 Pandas were building, and were just able to close out the game.
Yeah, I mean, you picked out the 2 names, Rez, Wrinkle. You know, we haven't always talked a lot about Rez. He's been on NIP roster for years now. He's the kind of stalwart, but never really, you know, scaled the heights of some of the other names, some of the other NIP alumni. But, you know, his veterancy, his experience, it showed today. He had some incredible holds on that CT side that we saw and able to help get his team over the line in a difficult series.
Rez has really been, to me, one of the underrated players in Tier 1 CS. I know that people have various qualms with him, but I really do believe if he is your 3rd best player on your team, you can be a pretty good roster in Tier 1 CS. Unfortunately, he's oftentimes been outlined as NIP's best player, and I just don't think that's really what serves him the best. He doesn't want to be the star, the shining star, and that's what's great. Because Wrinkle is taking a lot of that pressure off of him, he can shine in a little bit more of the back line, just come up with big moments like this, be a stable pair of hands, and it's not that I want him to necessarily be the biggest playmaker. I just want him to clean things up, and that's what he does best.
Yeah, and I think people might forget like how much of a good servant he's been to the NIP organization. You know, at various points he's been, you know, picking up the AWP to make it a lineup work and jumping into some secondary calling and stuff. You know, when he first came into the team and when he first broke through, he was meant to just be the right.
Oh, they won NIP? Yeah, that's what I fucking thought would happen.
And doing what he does best. But as you can see from the scoreboard, there was one storyline that really stood out in this match, and that was, of course, just Wrinkle. The best player.
What the fuck did I say?
By far,
and really looked like the complete player here, Yanko.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't even have to see him on fucking Mirage. I just knew it's his map to pop off. If he doesn't pop off, there's no point in them playing.
A double kill,
and
to
that's
help his team close out the game. 7
such a
opening duels,
fucking
won as well. Just found impact throughout the series. Incredible performance from him, but do want to mention Yokab, right? Who had a great map, had to stand in last minute, right? First qualifying tournament for the major decider to stay alive. In the running, and yeah, you can see that he did most of his work on the T side.
He doesn't get a sticker, does he?
I don't think he does, actually, which is kind of weird because that means Maxter does.
Yeah.
But either way, I just want to remind people.
We love you, Yokab. That's what matters. We're singing your praises.
Yeah. I mean, this was, to me, this was one of the best eye test maps for Yokab I've seen from him at this event thus far. He's had some weird maps. Like, he's had some ones where it feels like he's trying to do a little bit too much, and this one just right in his wheelhouse. But I do want to remind people that Wrinkle, switching from bait to NIP, at first looked disastrous. It really did feel like he actually got the short end of the stick in a trade where it was almost like head trick for him as they swapped teams, because bait actually passed NIP in the world rankings at one point in time. But now at the end of the day, I mean, Wrinkle's getting the last laugh. He's the one that's actually getting stickers at this point, and he did it with a huge carry performance that bait would have desperately needed if they wanted to qualify themselves.
We've got some rounds you picked out to look at.
Yes.
So talk us through what we're about to see.
Yeah, let's just start playing these through. There was so much excitement in this game that from round 10 here, I think this was a great Wrinkle round overall. I think this one got a little bit hairy, though, because this was after, I'm pretty sure this was after a tech pause also. And this is kind of what we're talking about with the momentum from the previous game, how it was halted, because, tech pauses actually really favored 9Pandas in this game in a weird way.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the NAP, another strong half. On the T side, I think it was a couple of saved guns and a couple of pistols for the side of 9Pandas, and they managed to convert that one. The struggle, though, was they could not win consecutive rounds on their CT side, really, and that's what hindered them in this game.
Yeah, and we've got round 13.
That's always gonna
well.
fuck you.
You can see.
Oh, I mean,
this was the
great Wrinkle.
You're not gonna win much if you don't at least. To be completely honest, if you don't have
we wanted to highlight this one
a
because
CT round 3 in a row,
because he's not getting a sticker in the game.
Rare.
To have a 1v2 clutch like that, 7-5, game so close, you really need, like, if 9Pandas win that one, they're back in. You know, like, this game ended 13-9. Imagine if they got that pistol buff or two, we could be sitting here still right now, or even actually just saying congratulations 9Pandas on the victory. So good on Yokab, because it's just high pressure. That's where your name is really defined, and in one of the most important rounds in Yokab's career, he came up big.
Yeah, and look, you've got to give credit to NIP the way they fought back into this RMR. On day one, we were all thinking they're done, you know, like they don't look very good. They've got to stand in. You know, this is like one of the weakest NIP teams that they've fielded in a sort of major qualifier. But yeah, I mean, obviously, so far so good. Excellent course correcting. I still suspect Exist might have had a little bit to do with that, honestly.
Probably did. I mean, it's always tough in these situations. You have different players. It's a high pressure environment, right? You have young players who can easily get carried away. So to keep them focused on the big picture and the task at hand, like, plays a big part of being able to make it.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, gentlemen? Anything you want to say about Nine Pandas? Obviously, they've been having a bit of a tough time around the majors and qualification.
I'm not trying to rub too much salt in the wound here, but I feel like Resalt, of all people, has to look at himself and just say, was this really worth it? I switched over from Aurora, who was cooking, top 20 in the world, doing well at lands that they appeared at, and then he thought, for whatever reason, that this team wasn't right for him. He joins Nine Pandas, and neither of the teams actually make it. When I would say Nine Pandas, let's remind everybody, Nine Pandas qualified to the last major. Like they were in a good enough position with Clax instead of Resalt to qualify.
Yeah.
Aurora was a better team in their own right, and now neither of them actually make it through. It's kind of like this is just sort of a disaster for both teams now, who really, I'd say 5 months ago before the swap happened, had strong shots actually.
No C's,
both teams.
No major.
Okay, there it is. So, gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be breaking down the next best of 3 of the day, where Astralis is going to be looking to put an end to the Passion Project. We'll see you in a few moments.
She said she loves you, but she can't love me.
But I love you.
I won't play window anymore.
What's going on?
Play your role. 1xBet.
Yes, welcome back. We've got a great series for you. There are 2 narratives that we've been pushing here on the desk. That's what we do. We push narratives like a corrupt media outlet.
All right.
Right. We've got.
What side are you on?
Well, you're about to find out, sir. We're going to talk about astrology.
Keep hustling, bro. Never give up. Keep getting paper off of the economy stuff. It's hard times, niggas be losing their mind. I hear murking other niggas cause they lost their shine. My old man told me these the last days. Everybody trying to get money at a fast pace. At any rate, by any means necessary, I'ma take everything that a nigga work hard for. I'm getting money while you niggas acting hardcore. Being famous with these young economy stuff. Keep hustling, bro. Never give up. Keep getting paper off of the economy stuff. It's hard times, niggas be losing their mind. I hear murking other niggas cause they lost their shine. My old man told me these the last days. Everybody trying to get money at a fast pace. At any rate, by any means necessary, I'ma take everything that a nigga work hard for. I'm getting money while you niggas acting hardcore. Being famous what these young niggas starve for. They real showing niggas stressing, smoking Marlboros. A lot of homies crossing homies, straight betraying niggas. Fuck nigga caught loving and we spraying niggas. Never be no gunplay, a youngin' with a throwaway. Made a youngin' 5K, left you in your driveway. My pockets felt like Biggie, but I'm still chasing. I can barely see you haters, all I want is paper. Real money, that's all I can think of making. Real trippy niggas, this a money nation. Old money spending 3-6 checks, and I'm still going hard like I ain't paid yet. Bought a couple of cars, got a couple of cribs. Fucked a bunch of movie stars, this the life I live. These rappers falling off, going back.
Gonna be a star player.
And he looked like one at the Blast World Finals, but
briefly,
it was the only event where he looked like his former self. That was with Device. It felt like the system was finally coming together. And the one thing I'll say about Stown is that I don't necessarily always see him as the most self-sufficient star. I feel like he worked very well in the old Cadian heroic system. However, when it comes to a system that's still gelling, finding its vision, finding itself, I feel like Stown, actually the weird thing that comes short in his game is mechanics. He's not always the strongest mechanical player in the server. He's much more cerebral, he's very strong at using his teammates to his advantage, but if just left to himself, I feel like it's just not always there for him. Like he's not somebody that's going to take over a game like we just saw Wrinkle did.
A lot of talk, not too much game to back it up. I mean, with that heroic Astralis situation at the beginning, you know, conversation about not seeing the game and the future the same way as Cadian, and you know, going to have more freedom to show what he's capable of, and then takes a dip in performance in Astralis, then it's Blame F's fault, and you have to play out of position. Okay, now you have your positions and Device is calling. What's the problem now? Because it was still nowhere to be seen, you know. And now that Cadian is back, we saw, okay, World Finals a little bit better. I just don't think he's him, you know, like he's that guy. He is like your Rez, who can be the third best player on the team and a cerebral guy, but you can't count on him to be the leader sort of on the server and be the guy who's going to take the initiative and make the game-winning plays.
Now we've got Passion, the story of the major in many ways. The youngest team here got off to that 2-0 start on the best of ones. You want them to go 3-0. They had tough opponents, and now they find themselves in...
Wix gives you the power of AI to build the website you need. With full business functionality and a design tailored just for you. Customize every element of your website and watch your vision come to life in minutes. Control everything from the biggest tasks to the finest details. Personalized, optimized.
One or two players from Passion right in that conversation based on what I've seen, even if it is a small sample size, Moe.
Chakasmo and Jambo have really put their names on the map for World Counter-Strike with their performance here. I think we've got the veto flying in just a second. I will say Astralis, they've been banning a variety of maps. The only map they haven't banned